Hello, what have we here? Look who's
Me.
back.
Yeah.
Guys, welcome to another episode of the podcast. We've got a banger. This is the last episode of season 1. It's going to be a great one. It's called Hostage Crisis. But let's get into it.
Let's do it.
You never would have made it as Obi-Wan's Padawan, but you might make it as mine.
Again, this is the Podwans podcast.
Greetings and salutations, everyone.
Char is back.
I
Hopefully
am.
for good.
And in my proper setting.
Oh, let me just tell you, this is gonna be a hoot. This I tell you right now. So to start off with some little housekeeping, we are going to be moving exclusively to Thursday nights. We will be moving to 7:30 Central Standard Time starting next week. Flipping from Friday to Thursday really wasn't working. Conflict of stuff. A lot of people do things on Friday nights. Let's just take Thursday night. Nothing's really going on. So that's going to be the plan moving forward. So Thursday night
football.
But 7:30 Central Standard Time, Thursdays from here on out. Come join us. We're going to have some fun. But now to get into our guest. She's amazing on TikTok. She's very wholesome. She's from the Midwest, just like us. Welcome, JJ, the cat lady.
Hi. Thanks for having me, guys.
No, yeah, absolutely. So it's been brought to my attention that I missed something here. You are both wearing the same shirt, and they both got it from the same damn store. I can't make this up.
The odds
people.
are impeccable.
There's 350 million people in America. What are the odds here?
And these two have the same shirt, bought it from the same place, probably bought it on the same day, for all I know.
No, I got this. I think I got this back in June, I think.
Oh, mine was a few months ago, so we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. A month ago,
at least we're not like in this creepy like who's stalking who type of thing. But let's get into it. JJ, tell us a little about yourself. What got you into this little thing? What's your story with Star Wars?
Oh, my story with Star Wars. I just want to. When I moved to United States about 22 years ago, that was around the time Phantom Menace came out. So I saw a trailer and it had Darth Maul in it, and it reminded me, and you guys are gonna laugh, but it's true. It reminded me of Power Rangers, the whole concept, the aliens, the colors, and I was really into Power Rangers. So I'm like, this could be something new to get into, because I was already aging out of that group. You know what I mean? I wasn't a tween anymore. So I saw Phantom Menace in the theater, and the moment Darth Maul did the double saber right before the Duel of the Fates, that was it. I was hooked. That's why Phantom Menace had such a spot in my heart. Yes, absolutely. It was the first movie I ever saw. It was my first intro to the Star Wars world. Wow. Everything about Star Wars was Phantom Menace to me. So I have really, really fond memories of it. And only later, when I got older, did I comprehend the negative discourse around that movie, which at that time I didn't understand. I took it with, did I understand anything that was going on? No. Who knows about trades and taxing and all that? It was just lightsabers, and there's a cute kid riding the pod racing. That was it. It was completely innocent and inconspicuous, and only later do you get a little jaded with the discourse. But
no, that's awesome, because as everybody knows that we've always asked that question to gauge like what everybody's first, because everybody loves that first moment of going to either an event, a con, or the first time they ever saw Star Wars, whether it was on the big screen or the small screen. Like it's impactful. So we like to hear those stories. And my first introduction was actually the original trilogy when I was a little kid. We had them on VHSs.
Oh wow, okay.
And I pretty much ran through those every single time. Had to rewind it, restart it, redo
Right,
it,
right.
everything time. And then my mom took me to see Phantom Menace.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my first introduction as well into the big theater experience of Star Wars.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which can be a little bit. I was just like you, lightsabers. Like, come on, who
It
doesn't
was
love
cool. It was cool. Duel of the Fates was awesome. It's still to this day the most impactful, the most memorable dueling scene I think of all Star Wars. I think of Mustafar and I think of Phantom Menace, Duel of the Fates. Period.
And
so
I wouldn't disagree with you on that one.
right. Again, the movie is got flaws.
Oh yeah,
A lot of
absolutely.
them
Just like the rest of the series or the rest of the saga. But yeah,
a lot of it is surface level, and we were just so focused on it. I mean, at least later on, to kind of actually engage with the overarching themes of that movie, which again, Phantom Menace is the most important Star Wars film.
oh yeah, absolutely. All right, guys.
Well, luckily for you guys, I never got to experience Star Wars in theaters until Force Awakens came out because I'm pretty young.
Yeah.
I'm 21.
Okay,
So,
all right.
And no one in my family really
Happy drinking
even
age.
cares about Star Wars. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, the first time I ever went to the theaters to see a Star Wars movie was in 2015. So
okay. What was your impression?
it was cool. It was amazing. Just because it was just so much energy from the fans, and everyone was just so excited. Luke, I'm looking at your face. You look a little you're just like,
no, I so for some reason I'm checking in on the stream and the chat is disabled for some reason.
Oh.
Huh.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's okay. Keep going.
Yeah, so that was one amazing experience. I never thought that I would be able to go and see a Star Wars movie in theaters.
Right.
And but I do remember the first movie I saw was Attack of the Clones. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not my favorite movie.
Right,
I mean, this was back when I was 5 years old.
Okay.
And this was like they were playing back all the movies on TNT before the Revenge of the Sith came out. And I remember the scene when they're in Coruscant and then Anakin's falling off of the speeder, and
that was kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, it was cool. It's just at that time I was like, "What is this? I have no idea what any of this is."
Right.
And it was crazy, but yeah, that was my first Star Wars movie I seen. So
when you said Force Awakens, that's I get a lot of that questions on my TikTok account, like from like new people. What's the best way to get into Star Wars? Like, I usually tell a story like my husband is not really into Star Wars like at all. So I had him watch the original trilogy. He did not like it. He thought it was really corny. Then the technology didn't held up to the standards. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's 1970s. So I kind of tread lightly when I recommend Star Wars to new fans. And I always say Force Awakens because it's a safe movie. It's still very, like you said, high energy. It's got the lore. It's got the lightsabers. It's got the dark versus light. It's got all the Star Wars elements without being taxing like the prequel trilogy or as a little corny as the original trilogy, if that makes any sense. And I mean corny in a good way, not in a bad way. So Force Awakens is a good intro. Absolutely.
No, absolutely. But let's get into the episode. It's the last episode in season 1.
Yep.
Episode 22, Hostage Crisis. Char, break it down.
So is it my time to shine?
Yeah, it's your time to shine.
All right.
Your time to shine.
All right, let me get this full screen and all right. Are we ready?
Yep.
Danger looms. Despite recent victories in the Outer Rim, criminal minds plot at the very heart of the Republic. The bounty hunter Cad Bane has assembled some of the deadliest criminals in the galaxy and plans a daring attack to seize members of the Senate. What can be the aim of this despicable act?
Dude,
spot on.
It's great.
Fantastic.
It's great. I missed that last week. I missed it last week, but so we start off, and this is one of like only a handful of episodes that actually takes place on Coruscant the entire time, which I think is interesting and fascinating at the same time. A lot of the Clone Wars obviously takes place in the Outer Rim, Mid-Rim, whatnot, but this is a very centered story within the main hub of the Republic.
Right.
And this is our first introduction to Cad Bane.
That
Yeah.
one of the
man,
reasons
the
why I
legend.
picked this episode. He's literally one of my favorite characters out there. Best bounty hunter.
And Cad Bane in
Period.
this episode, this is the reason why a lot of people love Cad Bane. It's because of his introduction is so dynamic.
Right.
And he is so menacing in this episode.
And there's
It's crazy.
There's sense of danger around him. You know what I mean? He's not a joke villain. He's not somebody that they're gonna just kill off kind of a thing. He actually is harming people and creatures. So and you get that sense, which I think it's a very dark episode personally, just the way they.
Yeah, his presence, you can feel it from a mile away
Menacing.
because he goes up to Palpatine and says, "I am in control now," and it's like, this guy means business. He really does.
Right. Isn't it the first time that Palpatine actually loses some aspect of the war?
Sort of, yes.
Right.
I mean, when you're talking about like if you're talking about from a standpoint of where he can't blow his cover, then yes, because a lot of the times, especially when Cad Bane eventually gets into like Cad Bane or Singh, we can't like overlook Aura Singh because
how did she get out of jail? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt the conversation because I don't remember that episode. Is she just out?
So this actually, if I remember correctly, canonically is before the Boba Fett, when she gets captured and before she tries to kill Padme. This is all before that. So I don't think she's been in jail yet.
Okay, no, you might be right then.
So, but Aura Singh is badass as well.
Brutal.
And to think Tobias Beckett takes her out is insane to me.
Yeah, it's a little bit discouraging. It's
shameful.
Didn't you do a 3 interesting facts? What are the 3 interesting facts on Aura Singh?
So
Sure.
it was a couple of weeks ago, but I did one about how she got a Renorm biocomputer implanted in her head, which is her antenna.
Right.
Which enhances it enhances her bounty hunting ability. It gives her hands-free communication. And it does a bunch of other optics and enhancing to her that is elite. It just enhances her skills. And I think the other one was what was the other one? I don't ever remember. It was a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, that's what I do on my TikTok. I do fact series about different characters.
Okay, all right.
That's my main series. I do some things on the side, but
that's his niche. That's
your niche.
Yeah, that's his niche. Absolutely. So I think I figured out why the chat is not opening up.
That would explain the intense look on your face the whole time.
Yeah, I've been in the background kind of just like trying to figure out how this happened, and it's because it's the child settings. For some reason, it got switched to like child friendly, which I don't remember doing. But anyway, we'll push through. So as they walk in, they pretty much walk through the front door without any like trouble at all. Cad Bane ends up throwing like a thermal detonator. And let me tell you, these thermal detonators, especially like if you've watched us talk about thermal detonators in the show, they're either really overpowered or they're really weak. So
depending what the plot needs.
yeah, because in the Blue Shadow virus, they use them to explode, put holes into the doors. And it's like it's either they're really overpowered or they're really not. So it's like, do they have settings? I think they do, because
probably
like when Bosch or Leia uses it in Return of the Jedi, it seems like you can push it up a little bit higher to make it like a different explosive, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure how that works.
Right.
Yeah, which is why I'm still mad because of that tier list we made and putting Jabba the Hutt at D tier. Because Boush Leia pulls up with a thermal detonator in front of her and he just laughs at her. Come on.
That's true, but Jabba is Jabba.
Yeah, but I would still maybe do that list again. I want to participate. I want to add my votes to that.
You are more than welcome.
I believe we're going to be doing Star Wars video games. The next tier list is what we're gonna be doing. If you wanna,
Okay.
if you wanna chime in on that, I don't know if you've played many Star Wars video games.
I'll only play one because I am really bad at video games. Really bad.
No,
Sorry.
yeah, it's always a fun time. It's in the Discord server though, so
Oops.
you're gonna have to join the Discord server to have that, to be able to do that. By the way, I got the chat working. The chat
Good.
should work.
Yay!
Good.
I figured it out. I am God now. Just kidding. I'm not. Anyway, back to the episode. So they basically walk in. I mean, they take out. So the cover is that they think the clone, not the clone commanders, but the what are they called? The Senate guards think that they're the Senate guards think that they're protesters. I'm like, okay, first of all, Cad Bane looks like a complete badass. Aura Singh has got to be in everybody's database for being a criminal. Like
At that point, right?
Let's come on. Let's not make it too easy for him, right?
Maybe because she killed everybody from such distance, maybe they didn't see her and they were able to kind of swoop in.
Oh yeah, that's right, because she is the sniper. That's right. Yeah, so it's just like so they get in. We pan from them getting into Anakin and Padme being in her office.
And
go ahead.
Is bonkers.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Like I say and I say this every episode, the Clone Wars does so well for especially the prequels. Because I mean, I feel like episode 2 and episode 3, the writing for Padme and Anakin is cringeworthy.
Oh my god! Yeah, George Lucas can't write dialogue.
It's not good.
He's a storyteller, not a writer.
Yeah, no, it was. But I feel like this back and forth between them was a lot more like, it wasn't like shoved into like, I hate sand and all of this and stuff like that. Like it was like an actual dialogue that normal people would have.
And a
like,
lot of
you said I hate sand and she was just like
that is just like one of the worst.
Bad. It's so bad. I cannot believe an adult person put that on a paper and said to an actor, say it. We'll put in a movie.
Hey, stronger, more emotion, faster.
No, and that's like the main problem of the prequels. It's not the actors.
No,
it's the writing that they're given,
and it's the direction.
Like the hate that Hayden Christensen got for the prequels when they came out. It wasn't his fault.
No, and
that's why I'm so excited for him to come back for the Kenobi show. None of that was his fault.
That's gonna be
I am going to be a menace. The Joker thing. No, me getting what I want in Kenobi. Every single time I talk about this, I always talk about. I will talk about it. I'm sorry. I go on tangents. Kenobi's going to be the
my
best.
number one.
Exactly, and we'll get into that a little bit later.
Especially because there's nothing in between Mustafar and them meeting again until New Hope. I asked around. I asked Chaco. I asked everybody. Give me content. Like, give me something. What is there? There's nothing. So expectations are just like, they're high, but like you don't know what you're getting, which that's the best part. So you can kind of enjoy whatever they kind of give you.
Yeah, and I love hearing all of the speculation for the show too. That's what makes it even more fun.
Right.
Hearing ideas and what could happen where the story will go with how Deborah Chow is going to write these episodes and how is it going to, anything's possible. We could see Qui-Gon's Force Ghost for all we know.
Oh, don't pull at my heartstrings. Don't do that.
TikTok, my
old friend,
might actually implode. I swear to God.
Oh my goodness.
Holy moly.
So
is there a date for this? Does anybody know?
Okay, we'll talk about that
at the end.
Towards the end.
Because at the end we cover some
we cover
stuff outside of the topic.
It's so easy to diverge in these.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
really
so
awesome.
So hard. So back to the episode. Anakin is talking to her about, hey, I'm on sabbatical. Like, hey, it's basically like, hey, babe, let's you want to get away? Like,
but
I mean, come on.
Here's the thing: Anakin Skywalker, one of the most powerful Jedi ever, cunning warrior, duelist, future Darth Vader is hiding under his wife's desk, you know,
Yes.
because he almost got caught in an afternoon delight.
Afternoon.
Oh my
Wild
god! When
episode,
Anakin
wild
went
episode.
down and just went like this, I was laughing so hard.
And it's the first time they're actually hiding, because how dumb is everybody around them not to see that they are either together or married? Like,
I've been saying this on this show. It's so obvious.
it is so
that,
obvious
that in season 7, Obi-Wan at least hints that he knows.
he must.
Like,
He
how do
has
you not
to.
know?
Especially you have your own prior experience with
Padme.
those attachments, and
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
get it.
oh, him and Satine. Yeah, absolutely.
And honestly, sometimes I theorize that people know, but nobody wants to say anything because they don't
Yeah,
want to.
why? I mean, why?
Like, what would that
because of the
do?
order.
Exactly.
Right. And they're just kind of like one of those quiet, well-known secrets that everybody kind of keeps quiet because they're too obvious. And when he's hiding under the desk, I'm like, this is the first time I've seen Anakin hide ever in any sort of a setting with Padme, because he's always like reaching for her face or looking at her longingly. I'm like, there's people around you, and
Yeah, bro. What the hell are you doing?
like,
I can
when
just
you-
imagine.
Just
I can
being
just
weird.
imagine Mace Windu if there was like a public service announcement announcing that, hey, Anakin and Padme are in love with each other, and then Mace Windu has that face that he makes when he's fighting Palpatine. That
Oh,
like that.
Yeah.
He will-
There's no love in the Jedi.
Yeah.
That's not how it works, and this is not 200 years prior.
Oh, we'll get into that High Republic stuff. Ooh. So like I like the fact that Anakin is okay. So everybody says that this is a toxic relationship.
It's
This
got those
scene kind of
elements.
this kind of gives you a little bit of a glimpse of like the toxicity in the relationship, because he's like pushing her. Come on, let's do this. And then he does the most asinine thing. He goes, Obi-Wan told me that this lightsaber is my life. Don't lose it. I'm pretty sure he says, you are my life. Hands her the lightsaber. And I'm like, dude, first of all, you've already lost one lightsaber in canon. You lose this one, we're really in trouble.
He's such a drama queen. He's
That's
why I love him personally, because he's so intense about everything. And he's like, he wants to prove his love so hard that he gives away one thing that saves his life. Because as we know, he literally lost the battle half hour later without that lightsaber. So he's
absolutely.
so dramatic.
Yeah. So I'm like I put in here, the dialogue between Padme and Anakin is probably it's better than what we got in the prequels.
It contextualizes their marriage and their dynamic a little bit more, because again, you still need to get that sense of where his journey is going. So they're going to throw a little bit of flashes of that intense personality, because Anakin, he cares more about his own feelings for others than he does for actual people. You know what I mean? That's kind of evident here. Does he love Padme Amidala? Sure, but he's more obsessed with obsessed that he has her in any way that he can. Doesn't care about her as a person. Which again, that's why that whole toxic talk comes from. He's very possessive.
Yes,
he causes judgment. And this episode, I think, contextualizes that a lot. The dialogue, I think it was there on purpose to establish that. So
no, absolutely, because you have to get to that point where he is always that she is always the thought that is in his mind. That's what ends up happening in Revenge of the Sith, and it's like he is so lust for power to save her and to not have what happened to his mother happen to her, that he loses it. And then he eventually ends up hurting her in the long run. But when so then he gives her the lightsaber. All of a sudden, Bail Organa and C-3PO, who, by the way, C-3PO actually tried his best to get Bail to like go the other way.
I'm a big C-3PO hater. He's a tobacco spitting can.
That's not too unpopular of opinion.
It's not unpopular.
I said it once.
A lot of people say that they didn't like him in the original trilogy. They thought he was just
really annoying.
Weird comic relief. No one He was the only character in the original trilogy that not too many people like.
No, I mean characters like that should break some tension, but it felt really, some of the humor felt really jarring and out of place. I didn't connect with it personally. To me, like Chopper breaks some of the tension in the Rebels, for example, in a way that's actually comical and
War
kind of funny.
criminal. War
Wow,
criminal.
wow.
He drops the F word probably every
For
other
sure.
sentence.
Same with
That
R2.
can
Same with
really-
R2.
So
Sacred Island, watch the land.
So I think, well, speaking of Chaco, I think the best part of his TikTok that he did with Chopper in R2 was that he said that Chopper had the voice of Samuel L. Jackson and R2 was Ryan Reynolds. And I
Oh
can
my
see Ryan Reynolds.
God,
I can see Ryan
yeah.
Reynolds being like, so why are we going this way? Like
Totally.
why? Why are we going this way? In the Ryan Reynolds voice when he's talking to C-3PO in A New Hope. And I laugh at it every single time now that I watch that. And when I watch that movie.
I never thought of it that way. That makes perfect sense. Actually,
So funny. So funny. So he comes in, Anakin has to dive underneath the table.
Still the
Ha
funniest
ha
thing.
ha, like what the heck. She leaves to go to a
Invasion of privacy bill passing as
Huh.
Taylor. It was the funniest. Yeah, it sounded more
weird.
like a. But it's funny how Anakin is hiding right after they were making out, and they get interrupted. Invasion of privacy.
Yeah. That is really funny. So they go meet down there. And obviously, then we move back to Bane and his crew taking out the Senate commandos. Which, if you're a commando, you should be able to handle yourself. And if you don't, like, that's the sad part. They get
back to the training board.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, let's bring in the actual clones, the Royal Guard. Let's bring in those guys. Those guys are a lot more menacing than these guys.
Probably they weren't expecting a full blown invasion.
And in greater numbers.
No, that is true. So they come through. He throws the grenade, closes the door. One guy comes crawling out, Oracing without a thought, just gank. And I'm like, bro,
cold.
She's a baddie.
Cold.
She is cold and she's a baddie. Like the
bounty hunters in Clone Wars are just something else.
Brutal.
They are
brutal.
Ruthless. I love it.
Seriously.
It's so
good.
Because
everybody tries to humanize villains. We don't need to humanize all of them.
No.
Can we just have them be badass?
Exactly. I agree. So the bounty hunters end up making their way to the where the senators are at. Cad Bane shoots a typical like, hey, we're here, we're gonna take over the place, shoots a blaster up in the air. While the small little Space Cowboy. Well, Clint Eastwood.
That's what I read somewhere. He was based on one of the characters. I don't know which movie was it.
I can't remember what it is either, but he's based off of Clint Eastwood.
It makes perfect sense.
Which is awesome because he's got he's got the whole thing down. So Bane takes over the Senate building. Chancellor, he then communicates with Chancellor Palpatine, demands the release of Zero the Hutt from the Senate, the Senate, through jail. Palpatine, we do not
negotiate
with terrorists. Hilarious. Thank you, Dave, for putting that in there and making it real life. I appreciate that. Good callback. Unfortunately, Bane proves his point by locking down the entire building. Basically saying, I've got you all under my little thumb. You're going to do what I want you to do. And there's nothing you can do about it. So Bane ends up going to all of the senators and telling them, hand over your comm leaks. You're not going to need them. And Padme goes over to Bail and says to Bail, I can't be caught. And he says, why? And she goes, because I have a lightsaber. And he's like, where did you get a lightsaber? Like,
but she's such a politician. What was her? answer right after. Like, the real question is, do we use it or do we?
Yeah.
I'm
She's
like,
like, real
yes.
question, do we use it or I don't know.
That is such a politician answer. Answer the question with the question and divert the attention. I loved it. It was so good.
No, yeah.
Zell's in the chat. What's
Zell,
up, girl?
Zell, what's going on? 18 people in here. Look at that.
Awesome.
Thank you, Zell. She was like one of our first guests. It's awesome. So for those that don't know, we are talking about Clone Wars. We're in season 1, episode 22, last
season finale.
The season 1 finale.
Yeah,
of Clone
season 1
Wars.
finale.
There you
Hostage
go.
crisis.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they end up Anakin gets out of the office. He's like, what the heck's going on?
What's going on? Yep.
And he's like, all right, so I got to figure out a way.
Was the office under lockdown too? How did he get out? Was that under lockdown? Or is that a plot?
Force.
Plot
He uses
okay.
I think he uses the Force to get it all out.
Okay.
So he gets out and he goes to where Padme is. Obviously, without his lightsaber, what good is he gonna do? You know what I mean? And Cad Bane obviously sees him. So this episode actually takes place later in the timeline. Because Bane says something of Skywalker, and they have actually met. So season 2's episodes are supposed to happen before this one, if I'm correct. Char, am I right on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird how some of the Clone Wars episodes work.
It is.
Chronologically, they're not.
Yeah.
No, yeah, they're not all the way up.
Mm-mm.
So Anakin gets shot at. He's like, he's got to flee. There's no way he's going to be able to handle that. Bane orders the IG-86 Sentinel droid and a weak way to go get him. Anakin uses his smarts, uses his comm link to trap the weak way, I believe. He communicates with the Chancellor to see what's going on. He's like, obviously, Chancellor Palpatine's like, hey, my boy, like, you gotta help. Like, we're in trouble.
And he's still manipulating him. He always manipulates him in all their conversations. Oh, my sweet boy, and all that. Just sort of. He's grooming him. He's grooming him the whole time.
Oh God.
My boy.
My boy.
That's right. Every time they talk, he's grooming him.
He is, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. So Anakin gets to the central core power core. Where he can reach out for help. Anakin manages to disconnect the transmission and hide before the bounty hunters can find him. Then uses a mind trick, obviously. Uses a mind trick to get the weak way to do what he wants. Tells him to go down to a floor instead of going up. The hunter splits. As they split up, he follows the IG-86 and manages to beat it, which is interesting.
That fight was amazing.
That was pretty good.
Because not just the one thing, because like throughout the prequel trilogy, I've always had my problems with Jedi never fighting without their lightsabers, and that's what made the execution scene on Geonosis so cool, was because they're trying to survive without their lightsabers. And seeing Anakin go against this IG unit without his lightsaber, and he almost gets killed because the barrel turns and it points at his face.
You're right. And again, he doesn't have friends here. There's no Ahsoka. There's no Obi-Wan. He doesn't have a lightsaber. He has to rely on himself completely. And
it makes the tension so much more higher.
Yep.
Yeah, it does absolutely.
This episode has its flaws, obviously, but overall, I think it did something that the rest of the Clone Wars kind of don't really go into. It slowed down a bit. Like you said, it set it on Coruscant. It stripped Anakin of everything. So the drama queen himbo that we know him has to be a little smarter.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He MacGyver's it, basically. Somebody called the whole episode like a Die Hard.
Oh yeah, it is kind of like Die Hard.
Except his shoes are lightsaber, which he does, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. So Anakin eludes Alma. Alma finds the droid and he says, doesn't have a lightsaber.
It was
So then he goes back and he's like, hey, the Jedi, we got the Jedi. He doesn't have a lightsaber. He's kind of screwed. And Bail looks over at Padme and he's like, you gonna, like, how is he gonna do this? And Padme is just like thinking to herself, darn it. I did want to mention earlier, so when Cad Bane talks to Padme, did anybody else get Dark Knight vibes from that conversation?
When he takes over that party?
Yeah, when he takes over the party and he starts talking to Rachel.
When they're on the atrium?
Yeah,
Yes.
right. Yeah,
that's the back and forth that they had there was very reminiscent of the Dark Knight in that because
he's very condescending as Joker was to Rachel.
Yes, I was
intimidating,
like,
kind of.
Wow.
That's actually, yeah, it's a good reference. That's actually a good reference.
And here's the other thing. So when she's talking to Bail, Bail's gotta know. Like, he can't be dumb either that there's something between Anakin and Padme, right?
And one thing to note, you don't see a whole lot of conversations up until that point between Padme and Bail Organa, knowing that he's gonna raise her daughter at some point.
Which is interesting. It
Crazy,
gives him,
right?
And Padme was one of the first people to trust, or am I saying Bail was one of the first people to be trusted by Padme because Bail was the first person to find out about her handmaiden secret.
You're right.
And the Queen Shadow book.
Yeah, good.
And
I haven't read that book yet, but yeah, you're right. I know the spoilers.
That's
you're right.
That's one part of it. So that's how Bail and her became so close. That's why you see them talking all the time in Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones, and why Bail in Attack of the Clones is like, you think it's such a wise decision to make during these stressful times, or whatever he's trying to say. But yeah, Bail and Padme have such a good bond with each other, not just in terms of, being politicians, but being friends too.
Which she trusts them in that moment. She's almost revealing a really big secret.
I'm sure Bail knows a lot of other secrets that she has.
Oh yeah,
his eyes did widen a little bit. Like, the scene would suggest that he was, aware of something.
And 100%. I thought it was so funny that like the other point is like it gives him more of a leg up to understand, because he knows Leia's parents. He knows how to raise a child like that. He knows what to expect because he knew her father, who was very strong-headed. He was a Jedi, blah blah blah, and then Padme, who he had spent many of long years with in the Senate, and he knows her temper, knows everything, and like it helps because he can relate to Leia, and especially in the Princess Alderaan book, that is a big thing in that book, and where he was such a great parent.
Right.
So Anakin makes it to the power core, doesn't get in because of a stupid duck. Gets outsmarted by a duck. Like,
I mean, classic right there.
Oh my
Classic
God.
Annie.
Can we not? So Alma ends up subduing Anakin, hits him in the back of the head, puts he gets shocked by the duck because him and Alma are like tussling, knocks him unconscious. They put cuffs on him. He takes Anakin into where all the senators are. As he's unconscious, after receiving,
his hands are tied.
They are cuffed. After receiving instructions from Bane, Palpatine gives the pardonship to Senator Onfree Tar, which, by the way, Onfree Tar is one of the most useless senators throughout.
He really is.
He's a vase. He's just there.
It's just like, dude, if you wanted to get stuck with somebody, it definitely wouldn't be Onfree Tar. Absolutely not.
No.
I would rather be stuck with I can't even think of her name. She was in Trespass. What's her name? Chuchi. I'd rather be with Chuchi. I think she would be a lot better than Onfree Tar, to be honest.
Onfree Tar is a menace to society when it comes to Bad Batch, obviously. But at the same time, he's just a useless big Twi'lek that just wants power and doesn't do anything in return for the people.
What does he even do to achieve it? He just kind of loves.
I don't
it's his
know.
base. He gets moved around. There's
Yeah.
nothing.
He plays a big part in Lords of the Sith, though.
Yeah.
Which is a great book. If you are like a Vader stan like me, that's
I
a
have a
one
different
that I
opinion on
really
that
liked.
book, but
I really enjoyed it. But anyway,
as
I think I have it on my shelf.
to my friends, I say it's the epitome of judging a book by its cover, but
see.
that's just me.
Oh, I think I have that one. I have that.
I
book.
wanted this in hard copy or hardcover, and it's going to elude me forever.
Is that hardcover?
I have it in hardcover.
No, it's
I have it in hardcover.
library binding.
GoNateBooks.com.
I have it in hardcover right here. Hey, if you want to make the 12-hour drive, come on.
Celebration. Celebration.
Are we gonna have to wait 6 months for me to?
Yes,
or no, 7 months
absolutely.
for me to hand
or
you a
just
book?
Mail it to me.
I wasn't gonna say. it.
Anyway.
UPS is around the corner.
Yeah. Okay. So Fritar gets taken to the jail, given the binding, giving the pardon to Zero the Hutt. Zero the Hutt, the worst Hutt out of all of them.
I prefer Rada.
And that's including Jabba. I don't think Jabba's menacing. He's okay. Zero the Hutt is just the worst. He's the worst Hutt.
Do you guys get Truman Capote vibes out of him?
Yes.
Other people have pointed out.
Yes.
Right?
You do.
Right? Or sort of the voice and sort of a little bit flamboyant.
There's something like that.
But like you said, it doesn't mean anything. He just says things.
Yeah. And
They mean nothing.
And you find out more about him in the later seasons, but like he's
Zero.
Up at that point, yeah.
He's like the younger kid that didn't amount to jack crap.
Okay, Zero. He's a beep beep. He tried to kill Rada the Hutt, and
right.
He's dating Sice Noodles, and Sice Noodles killed him. So yeah,
yay! Spoiler alert. So
happy ending.
Yeah, Zero.
No, I cared so much about Zero the Hutt. No,
Zero.
Stuck 2 people on the planet.
Yeah, Zero gets broken out of prison. The IG, I believe it's an IG unit, right? That drives the Senate.
I think it's another. I think it's another IG-86 unit.
Mm-hmm. So he goes, "We got to go back to the Senate building," and Zero goes, "We gotta go back to the Senate building." Like,
you're really spot on with that, by the way.
God,
that's actually really good.
Really good. Zero.
That might be better than my Tom Kane impression.
So then the IG unit takes off, and all he hears, it's like
it's something like that.
I want to run a discourse: Zero or Ponkrell? Who gets more hate?
Ponkrell.
Buck
Ponkrell.
Ponkrell is probably in one of the biggest
Master
arsenal
Allen.
Clone Wars.
Master Allen, you can clip this. I will post this on the next Thursday.
I thought of it immediately.
We're clipping that. I'm posting it next Thursday. So they end up coming back. Like I said, unconscious Anakin gets dragged into the lobby where the bounty hunters start putting up laser triggered bombs, which are badass, by the way. Now, those are dangerous things. Like, where are those in the entire mythos of Star Wars? It's like awesome.
And again, sometimes they get used for plot convenience, so you don't see them often.
Yeah.
No,
Unfortunately, it's
So, obviously, Cad Bane's like, if you move, if anybody leaves, y'all are dead. Like, all right.
Yep.
We out of here. So they end up getting to the where they came from, but Chancellor Palpatine somehow was able to contact the clone commandos. They come in hot. Clone Commander Fox is like, put it down, we've got you cornered. And Bane's just like the typical terrorist. I can let go of this any minute.
Yep.
I could blow up a whole bunch of important people and we'll have a real issue on our hands. And obviously, which is funny because Palpatine still has to play his part. Palpatine tells them to stand down. When in reality, he could give 2 shits about any of those things.
He was auditioning Cad Bane.
Yes. This is what helps him. Yeah, absolutely.
He was absolutely auditioning him. He was impressed by him. So
Yeah, absolutely.
there's this discourse like, did Palpatine really lose this battle, this particular one, or did he
No.
just let it?
He just chose to let it happen. He could have stopped it whenever he wanted to, but
it's
that
a
would
small
be
piece of the pie. He
That's
doesn't care.
that's the best part about Palpatine's character in the Clone Wars is because despite what conflict is going on, you know that he's in charge of it. He's the one that's pulling these strings for years, and that whatever's happening, it's in secret's done by him. And so I love to see how he feels about it.
Right, and it almost makes Jedi look dumber.
It does a little bit.
Right, because you have the prequels that are not as contextualized as the Clone Wars, and then you get 7 seasons of him literally, like you said, pulling strings at every corner of the galaxy. And it's
Palpatine, I present you with the Oscar for best poker face. Here you go.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he's drawn really menacingly. Doesn't he look terrible in the animated?
Oh, yeah. And are you talking about in Tartakovsky's or?
Like the animation of the character, the arch.
It's very similar. It's very, very similar in the way, especially in the face. I think they took the Tartakovsky Palpatine and kind of put the face on, and then they just changed his voice.
No, I was talking like the from the Tartakovsky Clone Wars, his teeth. They're like all messed up.
Oh yeah. That's
hello, Lord Tyrannus.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my god, this guy's built different. This isn't Ian Abercrombie, you know. But
because in the prequels,
at least I think it is
a little old man, like a sweet old man, and then he sheds his.
That's why he wins the best Oscar for best poker face.
It's incredible. I mean, the villainy of that.
Yeah. So the bounty hunters escape. We have a nice little back and forth between Cad Bane saying, you better pay up, Hutt. You were a pretty price for this.
Mm-hmm.
And Zero was like, as long as you get me out of here, you can get whatever you want. Which when we find out later in the series, that's not really the case. So Anakin wakes up. He's like, well, we're in a sticky situation here. Would really be nice if I had my lightsaber. Oh, conveniently here, Padme's got it. There you go.
Is that your lightsaber in your sleeve? Or are you just happy to see me?
See me, yeah, that's absolutely what that is. And so Anakin, this is funny because in the deleted scenes for the Revenge of the Sith, Anakin and Obi-Wan, when they come down the hallway, this is what it was originally. They come down the hallway. Grievous is there. He kills Shakti.
Mm-hmm.
And Anakin and Obi-Wan are trying to figure out what plan they should use. And Obi-Wan does and Anakin's like, no, not that one. This one. And it's like, okay. And then they turn on their lightsabers and make a circle.
And then spin.
That's what I thought when I was watching the episode. Was like, okay, so that's where this came from.
That came from. Yep, you're right.
He makes a bot. He makes a circle, and they all fall down right when Cad Bane hits the bombs, and that they all survive. Zero's liberated, and everybody survives, and that's the end.
The intent from Cad Bane, that's I think the point of the episode. He meant to kill everybody. And
I agree, yeah. And Cad Bane is one of my favorite bounty hunters.
Absolutely. His intro was perfect. Like, this episode is not perfect by any means. Got a little too many conveniences for my taste. Too many little plot holes.
He's a big fan favorite.
Oh,
and especially not just a fan favorite in Star Wars, but a fan favorite in Star Wars and to be seen in Book of Boba Fett.
Oh yeah! Oh my God!
Imagine if we see him in live action.
We're getting there
in real life.
Folks, we're getting there. Don't worry. All right, so let's get into the rankings. Everybody in the chat. So for everybody in the chat that doesn't know, this is how we rank episodes, arcs, etc.
Okay.
Episode rankings: Youngling, meh; Padawan, good; Jedi Knight, great; Jedi Master, fantastic; and Grandmaster is Chef's Kiss.
Oh, that's a big one.
So there's not a whole lot of episodes and not a whole lot of arcs that can get Chef's Kiss. There are 2 that I think are really close to a chef that could get, or 3 that could get Chef's Kiss.
More to
but
start.
we will get there. We will get there. JJ, you do the honors. What's your ranking?
It's for Cad Bane only. I'm gonna give it a Jedi Master.
Okay, I
for
respect
Cad
that.
Bane only. If
Okay.
remove him, I'm giving it a Padawan.
Okay.
Does that?
All right.
It's a tough one.
That seems fair. That seems fair. Everybody in the chat, give us your rankings, and I'll throw them up here in a little bit. Char.
I would give this a Jedi Knight because at the same time, I know that JJ really likes Cad Bane, but not as much as I do. But his screen presence was very important in this show. So I would give it to a Jedi Knight.
Absolutely. And I am agreeing with that. Robert Kenobi says Jedi Knight as well.
That's probably a universal opinion, which makes sense. Perfect.
Yep. Going to the chat. Aiden talks Star Wars topics. Aiden. I can't wait to have him and Harith on for Geonosis. Car2D2. What's up, Harith? They fly now. Zell from the Twitch stream. Appreciate it, y'all, for coming in. All of these comments. Aiden says a knight as well. So I would agree with that. Yeah, I would give it a knight as well. Great introduction to Cad Bane. Great introduction to Cad Bane.
And people were like, and I just want to add a little bit more to the Anakin thing. Like, oh, he's so whiny. He's this. I'm like, people forget Anakin Skywalker at that point. He's 20 years old. He's still really young. He's freshly married. He's a newlywed. Of course, he's gonna be, and he spent half of his life as a slave. That's it. So like, there's a lot of bad faith. I could crappy arguments about that. Oh, you look how whiny. How is he whiny? He just wants to spend time with his wife, and he's really young, and he's very emotional, which he should be. And like you said, and it's funny. Like, what did you say? I'm supposed to be on a meditative retreat or something.
Yeah, I'm on I'm basically on a sabbatical, not a sabbatical, but
something like that. You know what?
Something like that.
Maybe had he gone to those as he should have, maybe he would learn to channel his.
Maybe, but then Padme
he was skipping work. You know what I mean? To go make out with his wife.
Yeah, Padme would have died though if he wouldn't have been there. Ipso facto.
But I'm saying while they were married, like he skipped his trip so he can go hang out with his wife.
Or if the Jedi had counselors like they did in the High Republic.
Yes, my God.
Maybe none of that stuff. Yeah.
I do love what ifs in Star Wars. I think they're more interesting than Marvel personally. Right?
We will. I think the first episode would be what if people just let other people enjoy Star Wars for what it is.
Yeah, that's an answer that will never be answered. That's a question that will never be answered.
Imagine a world. That would be great. Imagine a world where people actually let people enjoy what they want to enjoy.
I mean, you guys probably you've seen my videos. Like I hate The Rise of Skywalker with like passion. I hate it.
Which this book does a whole lot for that movie.
Really?
Yes.
Because I'm about to read Ray Carson's novelization, The Rise of Skywalker. I'm hoping it will contextualize some of the stuff in that one.
It does. It absolutely does. It does a great job, especially if you're listening to it on audiobook. I would highly suggest if you're an auditory listener, listen to Star Wars audiobooks.
I just got Master and Apprentice on Audible, so
nice, very nice.
So good.
Yeah.
We are gonna have to talk after the show because I've got some recommendations of book-wise for you that you need to get into.
Right now, two are burning my shelf. The Ronin from the Vision. I still haven't gotten to it. I'm like, I just can't find the time. And
heard a lot of good thoughts on that book.
And The Light of the Jedi.
You need to get into High Republic.
Because I haven't gotten into High Republic.
You need to get into High Republic
after this, are we?
Oh,
from what I'm hearing, the High Republic is like there's so many characters. There's no central story. Is what I'm getting at.
So, with Light of the Jedi, there's a whole lot going on.
Okay,
there is, but it's a great story.
Okay,
it's just great story. If you're into story, there's a lot of side characters that you get attached to.
Okay.
There's a lot of fan favorites that come from the side characters, not necessarily the main characters. but like all the characters, they jump around a whole lot. It's a little confusing. I will
Okay.
give you that in the
Yeah,
beginning.
and a lot of the characters that you were introduced to in the High Republic are very similar to some characters in the prequels.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Okay.
you can get
Yes.
attached to them really easily.
So there's that familiarity aspect, which
Yeah.
for
Yes,
Star Wars it's
there's-
important, you know. As much
No,
as we
yeah.
want a lot of original content, a little bit of fan service and a little bit of familiarity, it helps.
It's very
big time.
familiar. It's very familiar.
Okay.
And let me tell you, once you get into the High Republic, you'll
Mhm.
never want to stop reading it.
Really? Okay.
Is such a refreshing, like if you have gripes with like there's too much Skywalker saga content, this whole year and a half when they released the High Republic,
Mm-hmm.
smashing it. I mean,
Okay.
if they would want to, they could make animated series about these books, animated series or live action or movies. I'm telling you what, it would be amazing. And if you get into it now, the Acolyte won't be as confusing when that show comes out because it comes
Gotcha.
out after,
Okay.
well, towards the end of the High Republic era.
Okay. So I'll probably have to catch up on that in order to get
You've
into
got
Acolyte
you've
a
got
lot,
till
yeah.
2023 to really catch up. And I mean,
I'm too focused on Obi-Wan right now to even care about it.
so phase 1 ends. So the last couple of books come out in January.
Yeah, January 2022 is when phase 1 ends.
Okay, so there's 2 books and a bunch of comics. Was it?
So right now,
Really?
High Republic it's made up of 5 novels.
So
Okay, 5
there's
Three novels.
okay.
3 novels that are, no, 2 novels that are adults, and then 3
Yeah.
YA,
Okay.
and then the young reader
Gotcha.
ones.
so
Gotcha,
there's
gotcha.
Light of the
What's his name?
Jedi, Into the Dark,
Into the
Rising
okay.
Storm. There's Out of the Shadows. There's
Race to
Tesla
Crash Point
Courage,
Tower.
Race to Crash Point Tower, and then the comic book series.
The comic book series. If you can get Marvel Unlimited, you can knock those out in like maybe.
I think
5
I
days.
have it because I was reading Kylo Ren comics when they came out.
The Rise of Kylo Ren
Yeah.
comics are very good too.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're amazing. To see Luke at that, because there's no Luke anywhere during
Besides
his.
Mandalorian.
Luke just bodies the Knights of Ren. I love it.
It's
Yeah.
amazing, and it's so sad how much Ben Solo idolized him, and now I'm sad.
I know.
Those comic
It's-
books are amazing.
No,
the
yeah,
the amount
absolutely.
of effort that Lucasfilm has done to enhance the sequel books is
Yeah.
it's amazing, and how much we
Yeah.
care about those characters even after we see the movies.
Right. Oh God, yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
amazing how they do it.
Let
It's
me
amazing.
tell you, when you read that novelization, you and I
Okay.
are gonna have a conversation.
Sounds good.
Because I personally I don't have it high on my rankings,
Okay.
but I think the hate, the despising for it, I think it's gonna age really, really well.
You think so?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Because everybody's all hung up on whether it's Palpatine, whether it's Rey taking the Skywalker last name,
Right.
whether it was poorly executed. Like, I can get behind the execution part for sure. In the movie,
Okay.
it wasn't very executed well. But the story-wise, like, the only way that you could finish up the entire saga is bringing Palpatine back. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
But that's the thing, Luke. It's like the story can be great. It's just how it's done. It's how it's executed. Because don't get me wrong, Attack of the Clones is a great story, executed
Not
very
executed
poorly.
poorly. Yeah. I agree, but I think The Rise of Skywalker, I think that novel will help you with understanding that
The
movie. a little
only
bit more.
thing that I didn't like from The Rise of Skywalker, well, there's many things, but the main
Oh,
thing
yeah.
was that they destroyed Finn's character.
I agree.
You made it
They
worse.
destroyed Finn.
Made it worse.
I
Like, the
hated it.
Main
I
critique
loved
that
Finn.
Right. Main critique I always had with The Last Jedi is that Finn wasn't treated as well as he should have been. I think more time and more robust story should have been devoted to his character. It was kind of like quick and easy, too fast, get the crate and be done with it. So the fact that The Rise of Skywalker managed to retcon the entire Last Jedi and still not do anything with Finn, it just tells me it's a reactionary.
Like,
effect.
imagine,
Mhm.
because The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi are back to back. The
To
Rise
me,
of
yeah.
Skywalker is a year later. Imagine
Right.
if Rey taught Finn when she was learning from Leia after Luke departed, and they worked
Right,
together.
there's a
Like
year, you're
Rey
right.
they were like not really so much master and apprentice, but they're like kind of like
They were
hanging together.
They were
They worked
younglings
together.
in the Jedi Temple in the prequels. They were equals at that point. They were both Padawans at that time.
Yeah,
That
but
would
like they
make
work
sense.
together for knowledge in that kind of
But
sense.
that would only work had The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi established some sort of Force sensitivity on Finn's part. But that didn't
Yes.
happen. It kind of came out of nowhere in Rise of Skywalker, and it was not
It wasn't established.
at all. And the thing is, like, when they were sinking in the sand, live sand on that planet, like, what was the point of that scene if you're not going to actualize it later?
I love
What
I love how
point?
the skiff was destroyed and they get sent to that one spot out of all the entire desert that can
Which-
sink.
So the other thing, another book that's going to enhance that movie,
Oh God.
Shadows of the Sith. It's the Lando Luke after Return
You'll
of the
have
Jedi
to
20
like
years.
message me that or send me that because I'm not
Oh.
gonna
Yeah,
remember
when
all
Lando
of
and
these.
Luke
Yeah.
were looking for
okay,
the
so it's basically
Wayfinder.
a story. So remember in Rise of Skywalker when Lando's like, me and Luke were looking for that Wayfinder. We're looking for
That
the
old
secrets of the
Jedi
Sith.
hunter.
That's the story we're getting in a novel,
Okay.
and it's gonna be kick ass. It's gonna be awesome.
We'll see. I'm keeping a healthy dose of skepticism because that movie destroyed me.
I mean, we're Game of Thrones fans, so you gotta take it with a grain of
Oh
salt.
boy, the trauma
you
of that.
know?
I will die with I will on my deathbed. I will talk about season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
If I have any grandchildren at some point, I'm gonna tell them the story.
Remember, Jon Snow should have been
2019.
on the Jon Snow should have been on the throne.
What was the point?
Yeah, I agree.
Who's that guy? He's beautiful.
So, Chart.
Who is that guy? That guy's beautiful.
Chart, you're at about here. I need you to down
Oh,
here.
I need to put on my glasses. Oh,
So,
never mind.
Disney
we looking at
Plus
here?
is going to have a docu-series Under the Helmet: The Legacy of Boba Fett that's going to come out November 12th, which is going to be Disney Plus Day. So they're going to have a slate of all of their Marvel, Star Wars, Disney, Pixar, all of their things, all that throughout that day. And this will be one of them.
Boba Fett is so sexy.
So it's basically going to
I'm
be
sure
a
you
docu.
love that poster of him.
It's going
My
to
favorite
be
character.
No, so basically this is going to be like a little docu-series talking about Boba Fett from his creation in his first ever appearance in the Star Wars holiday special in cartoon form back in 1978.
Oh, wow.
1978.
1978. That was his first ever introduction into Star Wars. He was riding a Crate Dragon? Was it Crate Dragon?
I don't know if it was a crate dragon.
It's a mythosaur.
Yeah, it was
right?
a mythosaur.
It was a
I believe
mythosaur.
so. But it was
That's
like
what it
some
was.
like I believe it was a mythosaur. I
I think
can't
it was a
can't
mythosaur as
confirm.
well.
It was like a big like brachiosaurus looking thing. But
Yeah, but like it's gonna go. So this show's obviously gonna give us a little bit of behind the scenes of Boba.
I can't wait. To me, he was always. Don't be mad at me. I was always a little bit of a boring character. I'm glad so they can flesh him out finally.
I agree. I kind of agree, but like the thing is like I think
Wait,
he's a
what did
top
you
5.
say?
I think he's a top.
Please don't be mad. We're wearing the same shirt.
I know, I
I-
know, but Boba Fett is my favorite character. I think the reason why I love him so much is because
Why?
of how much mystery is around him. Because the fact that Vader has to go up to him personally in front of all those bounty hunters and say, "Hey, don't disintegrate anybody.
No disintegration.
Like, don't melt
Yeah.
anybody into shreds."
I guess I need a little bit more context around him to maybe get into him. You know what I mean? If it's just a shadowy kind of a mystery.
bounty hunter.
I just loved him so much. I think the reason why he's so cool is because we didn't know about him.
Yeah.
Like we didn't know much about Vader after the original trilogy was done, but
That
people
is
loved
true.
him.
That is
Like
true.
they didn't need his backstory to love him.
But keep in mind that James Earl Jones voicing him, it
That
helps.
helps.
It
Like
helps the aura, the
Boba Fett
music
at
helps.
that time was the epitome of less is more.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think it fulfilled that for me. But now, since he got brought back in The Mandalorian,
Which was awesome. That was the first time I actually was.
I
like,
was tearing, I was
Right.
shaking, I was baking, and I was crying.
Oh, God.
no, and
Right.
Mandalorian to me, honestly, was getting a little worrisome that it was becoming like a video game. Like he's a side character and in his
Yeah.
own quest, which I thought was kind of a shame because because you got Shennek, you got Boba Fett, you got Ahsoka, you got Grogu, everybody taking over, but like the show is Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Season 2 of Mandalorian is very cameo heavy.
It's very fan servicey, which again,
Yeah.
it can work, but I hope they get back on the track now that, Grogu's gone. Not that we don't love Baby Yoda. He's adorable, but
Yeah, I think you're gonna see a time
don't
jump.
minion him, please.
I think he's gonna be. I think it's gonna time jump for sure. But so speaking of Disney Plus Day, let's get into speculation. What are we going to see? What is the thoughts? What's the overall thought? Chat with people that are still here. Thank you for sticking with us. We're just having fun here. What do you think we get show wise on Disney Plus Day? JJ,
I'm thinking we're getting a teaser for Obi-Wan.
do we get a release date? Do we get a release date?
Release schedule. They're definitely going to release a schedule, like exact dates, and I believe they're going to toss in some teasers. They better.
Okay.
I will cancel my subscription. This is unacceptable.
Yeah, if we don't see a teaser trailer for Book of Boba Fett before Halloween,
and that
I'm
too.
gonna explode.
You'll get that for sure. It's coming up too soon.
Because if we see a teaser for Obi-Wan on November 12th and we don't see a trailer for Book of Boba Fett before that,
I agree.
and it comes out at the time of Disney Plus Day, it comes out in a little bit more than a month. I'm like, how come we haven't seen anything about it? It's just like No Way Home. How come we haven't seen anything else about it?
But they're doing exactly what you said. They're keeping the mystery around his aura. So, but you're right. They need to release something, at least a snippet of him or something.
Yeah. And also it'll give us like a general idea of like who's going to be coming back in that show. Are we going to see characters like Embo? Are we going to see Kira? Are we going to see a bearded old Alden Aaron Reich Han Solo? Are we like who are we going to see?
The timeline, you're right. Do they know, is it released what's the timeline, the time period it's set in?
It's so Book of Boba Fett is essentially Mando season 2.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
The episodes are by chapters. So,
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Yep.
It's right after he takes Jabba's palace in 9 ABY.
But
that makes sense. Yep.
I'm with you on the book. I think we see Book of Boba. I think we see a trailer before. I think we see it Monday night Chiefs Giants.
You think?
Harith said that it was going to be this past Monday night, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's actual talk of it.
Well, I'm thinking.
Are you gonna be okay? Are you gonna be okay?
So my thing is like I'm not trying to be a homer here, but like Mahomes, like I mean, if they were undefeated, I would say it's a for sure lock in because it is the day before or the week before Disney Plus Day. But I mean, I could also see them dropping the trailer on Disney Plus Day as well. I think that's more.
Or if they drop the Book of Boba Fett trailer on Disney Plus Day, I highly doubt that we're going to see an Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer.
I think we are.
Highly doubt it.
Maybe on the 12th.
If we see a trailer if we get introduced to a trailer for Book of Boba Fett a month in advance, then why would we see a trailer for for Obi-Wan Kenobi 6 months in advance?
I think a teaser, a 20-second teaser where you see quick cuts of the show and then they give you a release date.
They're gonna do something extremely like not even 20 seconds. I'm saying 10, and they'll flash like Obi-Wan's face, Ewan McGregor, maybe Vader mask, and Obi-Wan.
I mean, I have no idea. Maybe they'll go above and beyond and show both. Who knows?
I mean, they haven't really shown us anything over the last year. Besides Bad Batch, that's it. That's the only thing that we've gotten Star Wars content.
And I'm impressed that nothing has leaked. Because right now I am terrified of the internet. I don't want to see anything related to Eternals. Like, I am scared.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, there's been a lot of controversy about the Eternal spoilers, and I'm
God.
not about it.
Yeah, I don't have a Twitter account, but I go occasionally just to see what's going on in the world, and I'm like, nope, avoiding that.
I'm seeing that with my girlfriend that weekend. So we'll be in Kansas City and in Lawrence as well, going to see that movie. But it'll be so fun. No.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
No.
Oh no.
Go Huskers.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
How can you be a Chiefs fan and not be a KU fan?
yeah,
Paul Pierce!
because I
Cash
can't.
out.
I can't. The old Big 12 hurts me too much. But anyways,
Same.
I also think we get a release date for Andor, and I think we get a starting
Is
soon.
Andor coming in 2022?
Yes, it is. I think it's
so.
gonna be the later part. I think it's gonna be the later part. Either that or Obi-Wan. But here's the thing. I'm hearing Obi-Wan is going to be early 2022.
That's what I heard too.
And I think
read
it's
that
going
somewhere.
I think it's going to be I think they're going to release it May the 4th.
Yeah, May the 4th.
Because then it runs into so the last episode would be the week of Celebration. Or the finale would be either two. So if they did it in late April, had an episode come out in May the 4th, it would lead straight into Celebration. They would have a round table with Kenobi.
You're
I
right.
mean, they're gonna have a panel for Kenobi, Mando, Ahsoka,
Andor.
They're gonna have all of their shows. They're gonna have obviously Rogue Squadron with Patty Jenkins. We'll get more information of that at Celebration as well. But like for Disney Plus Day, I think it makes sense. I think if we get a Book of Boba Fett trailer early, we're definitely getting something for Obi-Wan.
At least a teaser, 5-second, 10-second thing.
We need a release. I need a release date. And
know.
you know what would kill me if they put Obi-Wan Kenobi, whatever the date is, and then it cuts and all you hear is Vader's breathing.
Watch it say Obi-Wan Kenobi and be like, psych! Book of Boba Fett, baby! Bam!
Literal.
We're gonna get trolled, aren't we?
literal
goosebumps. Yeah, that. Internet will implode.
So, JJ, we are doing reactions.
This is bigger than Hello, Peter.
So we're doing reactions with Harith and Carter for the finale. For sure, I think we're doing finale of Book of Boba and finale of Kenobi.
Okay.
I want to get you on a round table for the finale.
Hell yeah. I will make time for that. I will make time for that.
Okay. We are making a effort here to get a round table. And we will be in touch with you and us and other creators to do a round table for Kenobi.
Oh God.
Because I'm telling you right now, if what happens and what I want to happen happens, I will be a freaking mess.
Ooh,
I'll make Star Wars Theory look terrible. I will make his reaction to Luke Skywalker showing up look like I don't know. It'll look like a turd. That's what I'm gonna
Joker.
do.
This is my Joker.
What if I triumph you with that reaction to Book of Boba?
Yeah, I'm gonna be, dude. Let's be real.
I'm gonna make it explode. I'm gonna light up the
more,
sky.
I'm gonna be more. I just don't. I tear up when I think about the scenario that's going to happen. It just it gets me.
When they were showing, I don't know if it's official art of Anakin in the glass tube with all the.
With the back to tank.
Is that official?
Yeah, so the back to tank is official. That is happening. Star Wars Newsnet released that, and that's where I get all of my. So we use Star Wars Newsnet because I've been using it for years. These guys are
so it's legit.
very, very reliable. They ended up having to take it down.
Oh, really?
Because there were too many posts about it, and Disney, I guess, put their foot down. But they didn't break the rules. They were allowed to do it. Just Disney didn't think it would get a whole bunch of traction, but it did.
Oh my God. How would that not get traction?
I know, right?
Initially, I thought it was fan art because I've seen similar fan art on one of the sites where Ahsoka standing and looking at it's tear-inducing so bad. Oh man.
Chris, Star Wars lawyer.
Oh my God.
Hello, what have we here?
Yep.
I'm Lando Calrissian. I'm the Baron Administrator of this facility.
Yeah. I can't do voices.
And who might you be?
A Jedi Finn series will be my Joker.
Yep.
You're damn right.
Absolutely.
You are damn right. All right.
Because they can't just end that story like that with him almost saying things.
But looking at the Boba Fett, with the Under the Helmet documentary or the little production we're getting, I personally think, despite what I want, I think that's when the trailer will come out, because they'll be showcasing that production, but they'll also give us a little glimpse of what the show is going to be about.
Right.
That
I
makes
want
sense.
it. My heart is saying it'll be before Halloween. My brain is saying it'll be on November 12th.
Which makes sense because it's
But it's coming
basically a
out too
month out.
soon. You know what I mean? They need to start putting out something, some feelers out there. They put the poster out a month ago?
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was just like literally just cutting the center of like the end credit scene
Yeah.
of Mando season 2 and just putting it as a
you're
poster.
right.
I don't think that's the official poster, but we'll see. Because
Someone said Boba sitting like a thought.
oh yes, he's like
Yeah.
It was very
Ew.
sexual. Yeah.
Yeah.
I run the
Which-
palace.
Appreciate
So, guys, this little thing came out last week or
That's
2
pretty
weeks
big
Yeah.
book.
That's
I love it.
is it
so-
like a encyclopedia or
no,
It's like a.
it's supposed to be a children's book.
It's a, is it a no? It's a
But
reference book, isn't it?
It's
Reference.
it's a reference book.
got it? Mhm.
So they have a Secrets of the Jedi that came out a few years ago. Oh, I just hit myself in the face.
Good job.
Came out a few years ago for the Jedi, and they released that they were doing one for the Sith.
Okay.
So the big hubbub on social media
Mhm.
is the revelation that the Rule of Two was originally supposed to be it was supposed to be the final thing for the dyad that ends up happening between Rey and Kylo.
Would you consider it's legend, so it doesn't really count. So
What
I was gonna say Revan and Bastila Shan.
Bastila could be if they ever wanted to make that canon.
Which I mean, oh my god, like I'm not a Revan fan
Neither am
girl or
I.
fanboy, but he's cool.
He is.
He's a cool character.
I'll be
so-
cosplaying him at Celebration.
Nice.
Which JJ are you
Very
going?
nice. To what? I'm sorry.
Celebration.
Celebration?
Do you know what that is?
No.
Star Wars. It's the convention.
It's
Oh
like
my god,
the
yeah.
convention.
I was thinking no, I'm not.
Oh,
Because I was gonna get a Trilla outfit.
JJ.
Oh.
Because I
JJ,
love
we got
love
like
her.
6 months. You can't make up your
You got
mind that
time.
quick.
You got time.
Come on.
I'll look. I might
It's
make
over-
I could
Tickets
go
won't be
with-
back up on resale until
Oh,
probably late February.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I'll keep an eye out. I didn't even think about it. Oh my god. Oh, that would be
Dude.
so cool.
It would. Yeah, I think a lot of us are planning on going. I think we're
Seriously?
doing a group up,
Oh
and-
god, that'd
yes,
be awesome.
yes, absolutely.
We'll talk more about that. I mean, that would be really cool. I have to get then I have to get a Trilla outfit.
Yeah,
oh
you have to get a Trilla outfit, and you got to get a lightsaber, level up lightsaber, get the.
Are
yeah.
they really good? Because they look amazing.
Oh yeah,
Master Allen's
I have
lightsabers.
Master Allen. I have a Anakin Skywalker. I have the Skywalker Saga lightsaber.
They
but I don't
turn
wanna
red.
show
You can
off.
have it be red, right?
Yes,
Ah,
yeah.
okay,
That's
just
what I
checking.
do in my videos.
Luke, we can replicate the Mustafar duel right now. You got the Annie saber, I got the Obi saber. Okay,
No,
We can do this.
No,
we can do this right now.
Yours is a NeoPixel. I don't want to hear anything of it. Mine is not. Leave me alone. Okay. Anyways,
Oh, we
back
can
to the
still fight to
dyad.
the death, baby.
Okay, so
Who's
back
got
to
the
the
higher
dyad.
ground?
So
Obviously, I do. Look at this saber.
man,
It's
we've lost.
Obi-Wan's. Come
We've
on.
lost this. But okay, so basically, people are upset that they feel like Disney is shoehorning things from this book into making it make sense.
I know who you're referring to, Luke. It's
No, I'm
like-
not referring to a single
I
person.
know. I
There's
know.
more than
No,
just
no, no,
one
no, no,
person.
no. I know. I
Star
know
Wars
what you
fans
mean.
are mad about something? Oh my god.
No, they think that because since a lot of people
Yeah.
don't really like the sequel trilogy, that the books and the reference books that are trying to help the story flesh itself out, they don't like that, and they just think that they should just stop doing that, even though that it's relevant and it's in our time. It's in our generation now,
I can understand
and they're just like,
that
no more.
to some extent though. I'm sorry. You had enough time on screen to tell a cohesive story. A lot of movies manage to do that. And for some reason, The Rise of Skywalker, you need a PhD degree in force to get that movie, to contextualize that movie. I get the frustration. I mean,
Yeah.
I love that they're bringing in new information, that they're educating, whatever. But still, no one should be doing that much homework to understand
Hey,
the Star Wars movie.
I enjoy the homework. Thank you very
we
little.
we do.
JJ.
I'm talking casual fans. Like I love the homework. Don't get me wrong. I have a show.
You're not a real Star Wars fan if you don't read all the comics. The
You're not a real
books.
Star Wars fan if you have this shirt. Wait, no, if you don't have the shirt, actually. No, if you don't have the shirt.
Oh.
I was gonna say if you do have the shirt, if you're not a real Star Wars fan, I was like, no, wait,
So
what am I doing to myself?
So basically, this is what So this book is all from Palpatine's. This is taking place before the Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
In contextually, so this book is what he's writing. It's in his words. So basically, in a dyad in the Force, there are a few secrets of the Force I have yet to master, but our Order's ancient prophecies speak of one fabled manifestation unseen for generations, a dyad. This pairing of two beings strong in the Force, linked together by an unbreakable bond, creates a power as strong as life itself.
Quote from the movie, actually.
Okay. So basically it goes on. It talks about the two are
one, yeah.
that are one.
Mm-hmm.
Basically the rule of two, basically trying to get that connection of a dyad to happen, and they keep failing. Plagueis tried to do it with Palpatine, didn't work. Palpatine tried to do it with Vader, didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because he says here with Broken Bonds, he says the dyad is an elusive connection, one that cannot be created through will alone. My master Darth Plagueis attempted to forge such a bond with me. Though he was wise in the ways of the Force, he proved unworthy of the task. I too attempted to facilitate such a connection with my apprentice Anakin Skywalker. Yet, even with the so-called chosen one at my side, the balance we shared paled against the perfection of the dyad. If the two most powerful bloodlines in the history of the galaxy, Palpatine and Skywalker, could not produce such a bond, the question remains if a dyad is possible at all. Okay, so if you read that section alone, and you think of the entire prequel trilogy, you think of the saga as a whole. It makes sense.
No, it does. No, I agree.
It makes sense. And people that just are like they're shoehorning it just for the sequels, it's not just for the sequels, it's for the entire saga.
But it's literally in the movies. It's in the movies. Literally, in The Force Awakens, it's subtle, but it's there. The Last Jedi develops it even more. They're touching through Force.
Like life itself.
And they're not
unseen for generations.
Literally, he says it in the third movie. What is unclear?
And it's not like they're taking it out of thin air.
Right. The framework was there.
The framework is there. You can do when Palpatine looks at Anakin in Episode 1 and goes, We will look at you for great interest.
Yeah.
And you, Young Skywalker, will watch your career with great interest.
That moment right there says so much about this book, that he knew from the very beginning that there was a dyad. And even in Darth Plagueis, which isn't canon,
unfortunately,
Plagueis is trying to find a way to cheat death. And that's what this is. It's never mentioned what exactly he was doing, what it was called.
The only thing that's confusing me, because maybe I'm misunderstanding this, I thought Anakin was the product of Plagueis and Palpatine cheating Force.
So, in the Plagueis novel, yes. In the Vader comic 2017, there is a frame where it shows Palpatine around Shmi.
Yeah, I saw that.
But that can be taken out of context.
Right. Who was it? One of the authors or one of the comic book writers had to come out, post that comic book to explain, because that would kind of relate.
That would relate.
Ben.
But
not even by blood, but because.
Well,
it's very complicated.
It's very complicated. The Force is complicated, guys.
And George Lucas was not very subtle about what he was trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I just let this is going to be my final thought on this. This book makes sense to me. What they're trying to do with the entire saga makes sense to me.
Right.
If you can't understand that, that's fine. That's you. You get this new canon stuff isn't for you. It isn't, and that's fine. But I want to. Here's my 2 cents. I will say this: if you don't like the sequels, fine.
Mhm.
That's your prerogative. I'm not gonna try to send it down your throat.
I feel the same way. Yeah.
Nicely said, Luke.
Here's the thing: you can go out and say I don't like something, but
Cool.
but when you
Right.
but when other people said that they do like it and you attack them,
Yeah. No.
it
Yeah.
just like there was a tweet Element put out about fake fans and about how like there's like it was so weird because people were attacking Element for liking the sequels, and I literally tweeted, I go, there should literally not be a fake Star Wars fan.
There's no such
You
thing.
can-
It does not
you can-
exist.
No, you can like what you want to like. It's the people that want to gatekeep, that want to keep people from liking the stuff that is coming out, that are the people that we have the issue with.
I mean, you can have you could see one movie. You could see Attack of the Clones, call it your favorite movie, and say, "I'm a Star Wars fan." You're a Star Wars fan. And
That's
end
all.
the
That's all I want.
End of discussion.
That's all I want. It doesn't need to be more of a conversation than that.
Right.
You can like what you want to like. That's
Right.
fine. We can leave the conversation at that.
Mm-hmm.
But the people that want to poke and prod and get and try to get a reaction, this is what you get me doing this on my own podcast.
Right.
Getting heated. You are tearing down the single thing that could bring us all together. And that's the issue that I have.
Fandom.
You try so hard to break a narrative because you don't like something.
Fandom.
Yeah.
The interpretation of fandom is not how much more you like something than the other person. It's how much you love it equally and how much you can differentiate from each other.
If you enjoy
Luke likes
something,
some
you're a
things different
fan
than
of
what
it.
I do,
Right.
and JJ likes some things different than what Luke does.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter who knows more and who knows less. If you love the series, take it for what it is and appreciate it.
Right.
Whether
Yeah.
if you don't like it or you love it.
Yeah,
It's as simple as that.
I'll never understand the level of toxicity within. I'll never. My brain cannot comprehend.
And I'm afraid that
it's never gonna end.
It's gonna linger.
No,
it's gonna
no,
linger
it's
forever.
And here's how we combat it. When people come into comment sections, they come into Twitter feeds, they come into live streams saying the Rise of Skywalker sucks, or the Last Jedi sucks,
Mm-hmm.
or anything. Here, and this is what I've learned from Element. Thank you, Element.
Mm-hmm. He's
Ask them
amazing.
why.
I love his content.
Ask them why. Why do you hate it? Why? Give me a little bit more. What do you hate so much about let's say Rise of Skywalker because it gets the most hate? Well, I don't like the way that Rey took the name Skywalker.
Yeah.
And I've got one thing for you. Go back and watch that movie. Go back and listen to the book. Luke clearly, in the audiobook, Rey, the lady asks who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Rey says, "I'm Rey," and she says, "Rey who?" She looks over. Luke and Leia are there as Force ghosts,
Mm-hmm.
and Luke says, "It's yours, Rey."
Right. Yeah. He gives her the baton. He passes on the legacy. It's there, literally.
She doesn't take anything. And the other thing is, why would she want to be a Palpatine? The galaxy would look terrible upon her if she was to take the name Palpatine.
I mean, it's not uncommon for people with bad lineage in their family to change their last name.
Yeah.
I mean,
Look at
Adoption.
Hitler's long lost son. You think his last name his last name wants to stay Hitler? Yeah, because you know why? Because it brings off bad energy to everyone around you.
And again, you can literally go to any government office and change it. It is not like this big thing that people make it out to be. It's really not. Like, let it go. It's canon. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Rey was never called Rey Palpatine once.
No.
She was called Empress Palpatine, but she was just Rey. Her last name was vacant.
Yeah, she never was. She never took the name, and I constantly have to remind myself some of these people, they just want to rise out of you,
That's it.
and sometimes I fall for it because I am so passionate about Star Wars
Right.
because it is what I've grown up with,
Right.
and I don't think I should have to back down in something that I believe in.
No.
Now, am I going to run my head against a wall talking to somebody that's not going to care about my opinion? No.
You have
Be-
to be able to sniff out bad faith, which
Yes.
I've seen a lot. I know
Yes.
exactly when somebody's coming at me in bad argument, in bad faith. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, Brooke.
Brooke, she was gracious enough to send us an image. Guys, if you're looking for good Star Wars merch, go to Far Far Away Factory.
Okay.
She's got everything from, she does shoe designs with Vans, Adidas, Nike Air Force Ones.
Is that the throne room fight jacket or jeans or something?
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
God, I need that in my life.
Yes.
my
So you
favorite
want
scene.
to
She does all those designs.
She does all of these. She does earrings. She does stickers. She does everything under the sun. She does t-shirts.
This is
She
awesome.
does amazing work, guys. Go check her stuff out. I promise you won't be you will be so satisfied. Brooke, you do an amazing job.
I love it.
You've got a lot of people behind you. But I got to throw this one up before we. I don't get very spicy, but when it comes to this
Yeah,
issue,
he went hardcore because
This
we
is
have
you hardcore. Oh
it's-
my God.
a little bit. This is just
unless
a
the
little bit.
Huskers are playing on a Saturday
But you do not want to
afternoon
be there for
and
that.
we are down by 2 touchdowns, I'm not a happy person. That's
He will
about
punch
the
a
extent.
hole in his door.
Oh God.
I've not done that, but
See,
yes.
my
I've
response to
thrown a
that, Luke.
TV.
Yeah, my response to that, Luke, when you were talking about how
Block.
the
Yeah.
fandom gets a little bit toxic, I have no problem if I say I like something and some other person says, "Hey, I don't like it."
Yeah.
But
Fair.
do not push that negativity on me because I'm enjoying it and you're not.
Right.
Yes.
Don't try to drag me down into your sadness because I like something that
Misery.
you don't, and vice versa.
Misery loves company.
One time I made a video and I clipped all the really nasty comments I got on one of my Last Jedi videos. Really nasty comments. I deleted everybody's picture and their name. No one was getting doxxed. I wasn't replying directly. They were blocked off of my account. That got reported for harassment and bullying, and I got suspended off of TikTok. And literally, I wasn't doxing anybody. I was just literally, these are the comments I get on my Star Wars videos, and they were pretty bad.
Some things are stronger than blood. Bam. Quote.
Another hint in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. They're so subtle, but they describe so much.
Be mad. I agree.
That is true. That is very true.
You want to be mad about somebody and their last name. Be mad that Finn doesn't have one. I
so
totally
true.
freaking agree. I cannot agree with that anymore. Like that's a great way. That's a great way to end things. Brooke says thanks. And
I'm gonna check out the
it's Far Far Away Factory on Instagram. They have a Twitter, correct, Brooke? Put in the chat if they do. I'm pretty sure she does. Or you can follow her at B_Dazzler. She does great work. She has to order the Air Force Nikes, but she's done Ahsoka. She's done Rex, I think she's done. Like she's just great work.
Whatever that throne room scene thing is, I want it.
And Etsy. Etsy. Go to her Etsy shop. That's where her Etsy shop is. Far Away Factory.
Awesome. It looks good from the image you shared. It looks amazing.
But guys, that's gonna be an episode. I want to thank JJ for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. You've been such a pleasure,
guys. This is her first ever podcast, and I'm glad it was us.
Me too. Me too. Because we always have good conversations. So
absolutely. Yeah.
Of course.
Where can the good people follow you?
Oh, the Cat Lady JJ. That's my TikTok handle. I don't have any other social medias for now. Instagram here and there. It's all private, really small for friends and family. So I don't post anything nerdy on there. It's very boring. So, but TikTok is my main place because, yeah, I'm not a very techy social media person, but for some reason that channel did really well for me. So people
absolutely.
seem to care what I have to say. So it's been
I
a
will
wild
say
ride.
And I thought the first time I saw a video of yours, and I was like, she loves The Last Jedi.
I do.
She doesn't like Rise of Skywalker. I gotta figure out what's going on there.
It's so loud.
I'm so happy that we were able to get you on. We gotta have you on for more things.
Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna look at your schedule and see what you got open.
Yes, absolutely.
If you guys can take me in, so.
Oh no, absolutely, absolutely. Char, where can the good people follow you?
You can find me. Look at this guy.
I thought the computer froze for a second.
No. I just did a little freeze frame real quick. But anyways, pardon me. So you can find me on TikTok at CharCharJay. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and I think it's just Facebook and Twitter. No, not Facebook. I don't even use Facebook anymore.
We don't
Twitter and Instagram at CharCharJay. And if you want to support our podcast and Luke specifically, I'm just his tool in all this.
No. You are much a part of this.
I am the Count Dooku to his Palpatine to the Sith.
Whoa.
So
you are the Star Killer to my Vader, if anything.
Wow, pull a Star Killer out there.
Because I like Vader, and Vader doesn't. Or no, wait, hold on. You are my Piet. You are my Piet to you are the Piet to my Vader.
Ooh.
There we go. That's one that makes sense.
But eventually I get hit by an A-wing in my ship.
I'm sorry.
Literally,
the guys didn't intensify the forward firepower.
I know, right? But you guys can follow the podcast at the Podwans podcast on TikTok. Instagram is Podwans the Podwans Pod, and on Twitter at Podwans.
Do you Twitch? Because I have a Twitch account just so I can follow a bunch of people.
The Podwans podcast.
Okay.
So that's what it is on Twitch and obviously on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. We would appreciate it. We're trying to grow this positivity.
Yep.
Thank you to everybody in the chat for coming in. But we will catch you next Thursday night. We got season 2. We've gotten through season 1. We're going on to season 2. But we appreciate it, and may the force be with you.
May the force be with you guys.
Always.
Thank you for having me again.
And we love these shirts.
Look at this. Seriously. This is